Hello everyone and welcome back to Barca Team channel. And in this video, we're going to be looking at Koeman's Barca this season in La Liga, why they are struggling, and the possible solutions. Could it even be that Lionel Messi needs to be benched? All this and more to come in this video. So let's jump into it. With 2 wins against Villarreal and Celta Vigo, 2 draws against Sevilla and Alaves, the 2 defeats to Getafe and Real Madrid, it's been a poor start for Ronald Koeman. I'm surprised that a club as big as Barcelona, with the biggest budget in La Liga, a budget of over 800 million euros, and the quality of players in our squad, including having the best player in the world, how could we still be struggling? I know a lot has been going on right from the summer, with the new manager taking over, the sales of veteran players like Rakitic, Suarez, Vidal, and young Melo to Juventus. But still yet, we have done some brilliant recruitment in bringing in Pedri, Trincao, Pjanic, and Serginho Dest. Coutinho has come back from loan with a great experience from Bayern Munich. Araujo has been a revelation, and Ansu Fati keeps impressing with his performances. Really, we shouldn't be struggling for points with the amount of quality we have in this team. So what then is the problem with our current team? Let's start with the switch from our well-known 4-3-3 formation to Koeman's favorite formation, 4-2-3-1. I think the formation suits the set of players we have in the squad, and we can see that there are more attacking players in the team than other positions. So playing with 4 attacking players isn't bad, it rather gives us more options up front. With the double pivot in front of the defense line, we should be having more cover in the midfield compared to our regular 4-3-3 formation, where you have only Busquets in front of the back line. Our defense line has been impressive this season, except for the El Clasico, where we conceded more than 1 goal in a game for the first and only time this season. The question is, where then does the struggle come from? In my opinion, I'll say the midfield and the attack has been where we have had our biggest challenge this season. Let's start with the midfield. Personally, I'm one of the biggest fans of Sergio Busquets, but I have to also admit that the 4-2-3 formation has not worked for him. He has struggled to adapt to the change, and from my observation and statistics, it's obvious that Busquets has been the weak link in our midfield. His pass accuracy has dropped from previous season. The number of his completed passes has also reduced. He has left the midfield exposed every time he goes up front to attack and release the ball. Teams find the gap in our midfield through the empty space he leaves behind. I'll use the instance of our 2 most recent games in the league, the El Clasico and the game against Alaves. The first goal we conceded against Real Madrid came as a result of Busquets giving up the chase on Valverde, who after passing the ball to Benzema went on to receive the ball back and scored the opener for Real Madrid. Also, in our last game against Alaves, the goal came as a result of a poor back pass between Piqué and Neto, but I'll draw your attention to the fact that Busquets was nowhere near our defenders to give Piqué a passing option. In fact, it was Busquets that lost possession up front that led to the counter-attack, which resulted in Alaves' opening goal. Busquets is an experienced professional, and I must say I am really disappointed at lack of understanding and reading of the team's gameplay, because ever since Koeman took charge of the team, one thing that has been obvious is De Jong's repositioning in the team. De Jong is now the focal point of how we play, and he is responsible for our transition from defense to attack. It is now Busquets' new role to sit in front of our defenders to give them the extra cover they need, since Jordi Alba and Sergio Roberto are mostly overlapping on the wings. But like I pointed out earlier, he's rather joining the attack and leaving the defense line exposed. One thing I've also observed is that Pjanic has done excellently well in giving that cover to the defense whenever he plays, as we all saw how brilliant he was in the game against his former side, Juventus. I hate to say this, but I think it's time for Pjanic to replace Busquets in the starting lineup. I know Koeman doesn't consider the other youngsters in the team, the likes of Ricky Puig, Carlos Alena, and Matheus Fernandes. Really, we can't allow these young talents to rot on the bench. I strongly believe Alena and Puig will do a very brilliant job in the double pivot role if given the opportunity and plenty of game time to grow. And even if we aren't getting it right in the midfield, it's rather pathetic that our attack is even worse. Just look at the attacking talents in our team. We shouldn't be struggling to score 2-3 goals in a game. We should be scoring more. How can we have the best player in the world, Lionel Messi, together with 3 other strikers and struggle to score goals? So this makes me ask the question, did we have to sell Suarez at all costs? Honestly, I think the missing piece in our attack has been a clinical number 9. Ansu Fati has been performing brilliantly this season for his age. He has scored 5 goals in 8 appearances, and it's rather disturbing to all Barca fans around the world that Lionel Messi has played every minute of every game we've played this season, and he has only scored 3 goals, and none of the 3 goals is from open play. He has scored 1 penalty in the league and 2 other penalties in the Champions League. Messi is not only struggling with goals, he has also had a drought in assists this season, with only only 2 assists in over 720 minutes of game time this season. And some of the team's struggle in front of goal could be interpreted in Messi's lack of form, although his new role as a false nine and sometimes playing as the number 10 can be used as an excuse for him being drawn away from goal and rather contributing to the team's build-up play with his creativity. But for a player that has broken all sorts of records of scoring goals and providing assists in the past decade, his performance has been rather disappointing this season. And Fati and Pedri has performed brilliantly every time they've played on the left wing, but shamefully we have not been able to get it right on the right wing of our attack. Sadly, none of our strikers are scored playing as a right winger, which makes me wonder if it is how Koeman sets up the team to play, because it will be best if we possess the same threat on the right wing as we do on the left wing. Griezmann just doesn't fit into that role. I talked about this in one of my previous videos and there's no need to waste more time on that. Dembele is rather wasteful with the ball, he lacks focus, and going with his qualities, he would have been our best player on the right wing. Unfortunately, he has failed to live up to his transfer fee and his inconsistent performances has gotten the best out of him. Trincao is only 20 and he has got a lot to learn, but I'd rather the manager gives him more game time to develop himself and learn from the experienced players in the squad. He has shown some promising displays already, and I really believe if he's given the chance, he'll develop an understanding with Serginho Dest on the right wing. However, the aspect we're missing in our attack is the divine ruthlessness of a natural number 9. I know Koeman tried his best to push for a deal that will bring in Memphis Depay, which I have nothing against the deal, but that wouldn't solve the problem we're facing in front of goal, as Depay isn't a prolific goal scorer. And the sooner the better we start considering bringing in a natural number 9, or Koeman has to start showing some faith in Martin Braithwaite, as he's the only player in our current team that can fit into that position to get this team running like a perfect machine like we all want to see. I hate to say this, but Pjanic should replace Busquets in the starting lineup. Koeman must figure out the right player that fits into the right wing attack, and if it becomes impossible, Lionel Messi can always go back to play on the right wing, as he will contribute more offensively than all our other options. It is imperative that the number 9 role is sorted out by the manager, and in my opinion, I think Braithwaite will do a better job than Antoine Griezmann, who has only contributed just 1 goal with all the game time he has had this season. And that's it for me in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. As always, Visca Barça.